Good eye, YouTube. Jables here. This is deck profile 1 of 2. As I stated in my last video I did, I'm gonna do my Infernity deck and then get on to my updated Watt deck profile. So, I'm just gonna jump right into this. First, of course, we got 3 Infernity Archfiends. Your main guy of the deck. No cards in hand. Special summon him. When you draw him, search out an Infernity card. If he's special summoned at any point while you have no cards in hand, you search out an Infernity card. He's really good. He's your main card of the deck. 3 Infernity Necromancer. When he is summoned, he goes to defense position. If you have no cards in your hand, you can special summon one Infernity monster from your graveyard except himself, or one of his twin brothers. Special summon Archfiend, get a search. That is it for Infernity monsters. I did not run Avenger, though I was testing one not too long ago, and I just didn't like it. This is the Exceed build. I played both versions. I played Synchro version back at the beginning of the year, and now I'm doing the XYZ build. I like the XYZ build a lot better. I do a lot better with it, but that's player preference. Next, 2 Stygian Street Patrol. When he's in the graveyard, you can banish him, special summon one Fiend monster from your hand with 2,000 or less attack. And his other effect that nobody knows: when he destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's level times 100. I've seen other Infernity players in games with that effect burn in time for a game. Watch out for that Street Patrol. 1 Armageddon Knight and 1 Dark Grepher. I do 1 and 1 because I only have 1 and 1, but I would probably still do just these two. 2 of him, I guess that 2 of him can be good, but I like Dark Grepher for the fact that he can just dump cards in my hand whenever I open too many monsters, and I do not like that. If you're an Infernity player, you know that you don't want a lot of monsters in hand. You want no hand. So I like Dark Grepher for the fact that he can help me just get my hand size down quickly if I get to him. Armageddon Knight's just good to set up graveyard with. 2 Summoner Monks. Same philosophy as Dark Grepher. It helps me empty my hand. If I have spells that I don't really need, I can summon a monk into Grepher dump monster. Just to send my hand out, get the grave going, etc., etc. 1 Snipe Hunter. I put Snipe Hunter in here for the fact that if I open with him, or I go first turn monk, I'm going second, I get out monk first. Go Snipe Hunter. Dump all the monsters in my hand to grave if I do not need them. Dump all those spells I don't need to grave. Snipe Hunter is really good. I don't care if I get his effect off or not. Just want to empty my hand with him. And if I happen to destroy a monster, great. I almost killed Draco Sack with Snipe Hunter, though. I wanted to throw that out there. I destroyed both the tokens, and on the last card I had in hand, it was a trap that I actually could have used, but I wanted to take the risk to hit Draco Sack too, but just couldn't do it. But Snipe Hunter does work good in this deck because he will empty your hand when you need your hand emptied. And he's a fiend. And then finally for monsters, 1 Archfiend Eris. I like the Eris build because the field spell is a budget transmodify, and Eris also searches out Archfiend. So a play that I will do a lot is if I have a Stygian engraved, I will Laval Chain Eris. Her effect will kick off and add Archfiend to my hand, and then I can special summon Archfiend with the Stygian engrave. So I really like the Archfiend Eris build. It works really consistent, for me at least. Onto the spells. 1 Field Spell, Archfiend, whatever it's called. I really like the field spell. It gives Infernity Archfiend, basically my main Archfiend in the deck, 500 attack points. He is a 2300 attacker under the field spell. And if you have protection of your barriers and breaks, that is legit. Plus, it is a poor man's transmodify. You target one Archfiend No, yeah, you target one fiend monster you control. You banish another fiend monster and special summon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. One fiend monster equal level is that target. Yes, I believe that is it. So you special summon, you target your Archfiend. Banish your Necromancer. Special summon a second Archfiend. There's your search. Maybe double search if you special summon this Archfiend with that Necromancer. Whatever. Then you can overlay if you need to. Or you can just sit on not 2300 Archfiends. Whichever the situation calls for. Infernity Launcher. Self-explanatory. Though I will want to point out how bad of an Infernity player that I am. The fact that I did not realize until just last week that this card says you can select up to 2 Infernity monsters. Since I've been playing this deck, I thought it was 2 or nothing. RTFC, right? Foolish Burial. Throw stuff in grave. Rhoda. Search out that Armageddon Knight in that Dark River. Book of Moon, because it's Book of Moon. Double instant fusions. Most of the time I will pitch this with Summon a Monk, because I don't like paying life points. But I have used it before, actually. 2 Forbidden Lances, because I got them and I put them in here. I hardly ever actually use them in this deck. They mostly get thrown away with Summon a Monk, but they're here for those few moments when I actually do need them. Dark Hole, your staple of the deck. And then for the last spells, triple MST. Because I like to get my plays off, and I don't like people trapping my Archfiend. For traps, I only main deck 2 Infernity Barriers. I side deck the third one if I need it in a match. 2 works out great in the first because it just does. I can't really explain that, but made room for other traps. But 2 barriers work great, and I'll side into the third one if I need it. 3 Infernity Breaks. I wasn't even playing this card back when I did the Synchro version, but this card is too good not to use. Just banish, if you have no cards in hand, banish an Infernity card from your graveyard and destroy 1 card your opponent controls. Some people have actually thought this was like your barrier. You have to have an face-up attack position Infernity monster. But you don't. You just have to have no cards in hand and Infernity cards in grave. 2 Fiendish Chains. Because Veilers are bad in this deck. 2 Mirror Force. Magic Cylinder. Because I fucking run it before anybody fucking else did. Excluding burn players. I don't want to make any of you chain burn, stall burn, any of your burn players salty. I ran this card in every damn deck I've ever played. Go back and watch my videos, you'll see. Fuck these articles, people saying this shit's good now. It's been damn good. That's all I'm going to rant about that. Torrential, Bottomless, and Compulse. That is it for main deck. 40 cards, I believe. Extra deck now. We got Miseridum. He's in here in case I have to point for point ram into Obelisk the Tormentor. Because we do have frog players. And there was a Chaos Dragon player that actually tribute summoned Obelisk against me one day. And I was like, what the hell? But Miseridum, under the field spell. He's very situational. But under the field spell, if I use his effect, he'll become a 4,000 attack monster. So I can kamikaze with Obelisk, because Obelisk does shits all over this deck. I was playing against frogs one day, and they summoned Obelisk. I had double barrier, double break set, and lost. Because Obelisk, I just couldn't do shit against Obelisk. So he's in here on the off chance I need to ram into Obelisk. Because Obelisk is a problem. Leviair. Because it's Leviair. Cowboy for gain. Double level chain. I finally got my second chain, and this is a lot of damn money. This is more money than I'm used to seeing. 2 chains, it's necessary in this deck, sadly. 2 Maestroke, because I'm filling the extra deck with generic rank 4 monsters. Black Ship of Corn, because I like to burn shit. Photon Pepe, Master Key Beetle. My surprise hit of the deck, my poor man's Big Eye Violon de Sigma. That's what I'm gonna call him. I know he's not technically like Big Eye, but he still takes my opponent's shit and equips it to his ass. I took Draco Sack with this. I've taken Abyss Giles with this. On some weird way, I actually took Abyss Giles, but fuck Abyss Giles. He's what fucked me at regionals, so I took him with fucking the Sigma. The Sigma's legit. He becomes a cataster for whatever monster, the attribute of the monster that's equipped to him. And he can equip up to 3. Plus, I just like taking my opponent's shit, especially Draco Sack. And then the 2 instant fusion targets. This guy and this guy. This guy is preferable for instant fusion level 4s because he's a dark, and you can go into Key Beetle if you have to. That's it for extra deck. Side deck, I'm just going to throw out here real quick. It's not complete, I'm still working on it. But what I have right now, 2 Smashing Grounds, 2 Prohibitions, the 3rd Infernity Barrier, Dust Tornado for extra back row hate because fuck Skill Drain, and then these Crevice into different dimensions because I don't want to run DD Crow in Infernities. And this is DD Crow except twice. That's the Infernity deck. Hope you guys like. I'm going to be working on the Watt deck coming up next. Stay tuned.